These guys are not experts.
And I'm not sure they're even that smart.
They do like video games.
And I guess you could say they're funny.
Sometimes.
Well, they do like to talk.
And they do have opinions.
It's time for Video Game Replays!
Hello, and thank you for joining us on this very special episode of Video Game Replay. My name is Larry. Joining me is my co-host, Aiden.
What's up, guys? It's Aiden.
You guys haven't noticed yet, which I'm sure you will. CJ's not with us, but it's all right. He's just got some things going on in his world, and that happens. But for you guys, that means you get a Video Game Replay Extra.
Yeah.
So what's so extra about it? Well, we told you before what our schedule is going to be and all that, but now we're going to plug in something different, and this week we're going to give you a game that wasn't scheduled. But before we get into that, Aiden, what you been into, man? What you been doing?
Man, I haven't been doing much. Watching some sports. I'm still not full hours of my job, so I got a lot of time off. I've been playing some Call of Duty and watching sports, watching my Browns suck, watching my Cavs win, which is good. I actually got Cavs tickets here coming up. Excited about that.
Oh, score.
Hey, but other than that, not too much exciting going on in my life.
Well, that's I feel you. I mean, I can't say I've got anything too crazy in my world going on. Chicago Bears are still just a disappointment as always. Fire Eberflus, I guess that ain't gonna change anything, I don't think, but we'll see how that goes. Did you give ourselves some time frame? Did you happen to watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson?
Well, I watched some highlights of it, the very few that there were, and it was almost sad. I want to say it was not a fun event. The girls before that, they were going at each other. The fight before Mike Tyson, the two chicks that were going at each other, that was the most entertaining fight of the night. I mean, it's just sad. I don't have anything against Jake Paul. I mean, I don't really know him other than he's like a cocky younger guy that beats on 60-year-old retired legend boxers. But other than that, don't know much about him. But the fight was a little lackluster. I feel like Mike Tyson was just needed money, got his $20 million, got beat up a few rounds for it, and that was that.
I am a WWE wrestling fan at heart, and to the point where I would be called a smart mark. And I didn't realize until the fight was over that every person who watched that, who bet on it, who had any interest in it, got hustled. Straight got played. The hype videos, the talking, the smack, the everything. And don't forget, just in case you don't know, Mike Tyson did work for the WWE at one point, worked for AEW as well in a minute. Was it Logan Paul's the one that fought, right? No, Jake
Paul. Yeah.
Jake Paul's the one who fought. Logan's the one who works in the WWE now. But basically, they got everybody hyped for a match, and we got to watch 16 minutes of these two guys dancing around, being like, getting paid. What are you going to do? Getting paid.
Well, I mean, obviously we know Mike Tyson, a little cuckoo back in the days, but he's a legend. And it was almost like watching that. It was almost sad. And I know Jake Paul's probably just doing it for the money, and Mike Tyson as well, because I believe he filed bankruptcy a couple of years back. Mike Tyson, weirdly enough, but I don't know. It's just sad. You have this guy that has unlimited money. He's been training with the best for the past 4 years, and he just lost to an actual boxer in his last fight, and his next challenge is a 60-year-old retired boxer. Like, are any of us surprised that he beat a 6-year-old retired boxer when he's 27 years old and unlimited money and been practicing for the past 4 years? I mean, no. It was almost just sad. It wasn't worth watching. That's why I didn't watch it. And I heard Netflix was shitty too the whole time.
Oh yeah, it was really bad. I mean, I caught the end of the women's fight where the chick got opened up and all that, and that carried on. But yeah, I got kicked out of it about 2 or 3 times. But again, that was part of where I found out that the whole thing was just a big play and hustle on it because Paul brought that up. He's like, "Oh, we crashed Netflix. We made it go down. We broke the site." And it's like, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch just ended up hustling every damn person in this. And it's a good thing is I already paid my $8 a month for this crap because I was pissed about it. Just to be hustled.
I mean,
The match, yeah, I'm with you. It was. I don't want to see Mike Tyson done like that. Mike Tyson's fucking the baddest man in the world, and he played us too, though.
he did, and he needed money. And to be fair, and to be honest, I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, $20 million. I need money.
Oh, in a
6 years
heartbeat.
old, in a heartbeat. I mean, I'm not questioning it. Like, I'll give you the win. I won't hit you the whole time. I mean, that's what I'd do. Now, did you catch, not as much hype behind it, but did you catch the fight Saturday night? I think it was, what was it, UFC 309 or something like that?
I did not. Like I said, I'm not a big UFC guy. It's too real for me.
Too real, but I'm a casual UFC fan.
Okay.
John Jones is fighting, legend. John Jones, one of the best pound for pound fighters, as Dana White says. But he ended up winning against another older guy named, his name is Stipe. Can't really
Yeah.
pronounce his last name.
Mm.
But I mean, that was a solid fight too. But I don't know. It's just the fighting. Maybe I need to get into WWE because I mean, the fighting world in general has not been exciting recently.
No, I did what I don't even know. I don't even know if it was still called UFC back then when you had Hoist Gracie and Dan Severn and all that. I mean, way back in the '90s. But I think the Gracies kind of, I don't want to say changed it, but you had a lot of more upright fighting and pit fighting type stuff like you'd see in the movies prior to that. Now, I say I don't argue the technicality of what they're doing, but it's a lot of let's hug and wait for you to make the wrong move on the mat kind of stuff, which to me is not interesting. I get a lot of people see the technicality of it, and that's cool because they'll probably break my arm in a heartbeat, but it's just not entertaining for the eye.
Now I'm a fan, and I also want to say I'm hating on John Jones a little bit. I know there's a lot of John Jones fans in the world, but pretty much what's going on, he's fighting Stipe. Was this guy? He did a lot in his heyday, but he hasn't had a lot of success winning recently. He's an older guy,
Mm-hmm.
and John Jones was, I think, like, this is going to be an easy fight. I'm going to go after Stipe, and a harder fight, Tom Aspinall, which people want him to see. He's pretty much just like, unless I get paid, fuck you money, I'm not fighting him. I don't want to. Like, he needs me. I feel like there's not a whole lot like back in the day. Like, we had Mike Tyson. Like, I want to go against the best of the best. Like, I want a title fight. Like, now we have people. It seems solely for the money. And I mean, if it's just for the money, I don't see why it's any better than WWE or any of the stuff that's rehearsed anyway. I mean, if you have these fights that are just going on for the money and fighters don't care about winning anymore.
It's rare. I mean, maybe that's where I'd even found, like I say, very few that want to prove that they are the best. Which to me is like saying in any martial art, that should be your whole objective is not only to prove to the world, but prove yourself that you are the best. Not so much that I can draw, $100 billion.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. John Jones is probably the best. He's beat just about anyone you can think of, including his wife. But he beat his wife a couple times. But
Oh wow!
yeah, I don't know. It's getting boring. But I have been watching Cavs. I mentioned in our previous video. I think where were we playing the previous video? My
Kirby.
mind's blanking. Kirby. I mentioned in
Yeah.
Kirby that the Cavs were 12-0 when we did Kirby, and now they're 15-0. Like I predicted my last episode, they're going
Oh wow!
strong. I mean, we played the Hornets tonight, and our star player didn't even play. He rested, and we still beat them. They're looking great. CJ's Knicks are not looking great. They're still gelling, as he likes to say. They're still in a gelling period. But how
Uh-huh.
long can you gel? I mean, at one point, you got to start winning games. Am I right, Larry? I mean,
Well, I mean that's I think what is it, 80, 82 games in basketball, 86.
that sounds about right. I mean, if you don't start
Yeah,
winning here soon, I mean,
yeah, it's a big hole to get out of. I mean, hell, you guys are already like 1/4 of the way further up than they are at this point. So
oh yeah, they're not catching up to us. I'm not worried about that, but I'm
it
just for
has to.
CJ's sake. I just want his team to succeed.
Yeah, well, Just in case you do hear this, CJ, Knicks suck. Everybody knows it, but
Yes.
we're gonna move on to something a little more lighthearted. What you been playing, dude? What's been eating up your video game time? Anything fun?
I mentioned it earlier. I don't know about the fun part, but I've been playing Black Ops 6, the newest
Yeah.
of the Call of Duty money grab franchise. This one's a little different. It's from the Treyarch, which is kind of a sweetheart of the Black Ops. They made like loved games like BO2 and BO3 classics everyone likes. But this
Yeah.
game, it feels a little different. It feels good. I mean, of course, it's a money grab. It's similar stuff every year for $70 or 100 if you want to get all the cool shit. Uh, it's a money grab, but it's been consuming most of my time. Just playing, trying to get the camos, getting some kills. Other than that,
I
other than little Paperboy, not much.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not a fan of first person shooters, but I get the idea that getting into it all that. I mean, I guess my question is, do you play? Do you play any sort of story mode? Is there like do you work as a team as that, or is it all pretty much team versus team?
Well,
Or
I'm a pretty competitive guy. I like going for kills. I like getting better.
Mhm.
There's a campaign mode which is pretty much a story mode, and there's a zombies mode which is PVE. You play for zombies, you can fight bosses, which I think would be probably more up your alley. It's actually a good time. The zombies in this Call of Duty is probably some of the better zombies that we've had in a while.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's campaign, there's PVE, but I mainly PvP is my realm that I usually stay in.
is it? I don't know if melee is the right one. Is it basically like one for all and kill everyone, or I mean, or, like I said, do you have sides?
Well, well, there's the main game modes. There's 20 different game modes, but the main
Jesus.
the main game mode is you have a team of 6 people, and there's a team of 6 people on the other team, and you are put in
Okay.
a small map, and you try to kill each other. Like there's certain game like team deathmatch is just
Mhm.
the first team to get 100 kills of the other team.
Okay.
There's domination where it's pretty much capture the flag, and you have to hold these objectives and say there's in each spawn there's a C and an A, and you hold your C and your A, and everyone fights for B, so which is in the middle. And whoever
Okay.
pretty much holds B the longest by the end of the game, you end up winning. And there's also hard point, which is there's an objective, and you try as long as you're in the objective, you get points. But if the other team is in the objective, they get points. So it's first to like 200. There's a ton of different game modes. It's pretty fun, but there's a lot of people try harding. I mean,
Yeah.
gaming is like so serious now. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I get it, and like I say, I'm from the old age of playing Doom, where we had eight person melees going on for everything, and that was, of course, hours spent in the computer lab instead of learning how to do stuff. We learned how to network and how to chase each other down. But I get it. I guess my skills and my reaction time to it just don't meet up to it anymore. I mean, myself outside of some different retro games I've been looking at, just messing with. I've strangely got back into Minecraft, and I don't know why, but I find chopping down trees to be very therapeutic for the world I'm living in right now. So
It's definitely very relaxing to come back. I have like a rotation of games like that. Like I every once in a while I come back to Minecraft, I come back to Terraria, play a little Stardew Valley. I come back to these games that I've already beaten many times over, but it just it's something fun about it. Just to play. I almost just said just to play with yourself, but it's very relaxing just to sit and play a game that you're familiar with. Just chill out.
well, sometimes playing with yourself it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing with yourself, let's talk. Well, no, we're gonna hold off on one thing. I do want to bring this up, um, just to give everybody the heads up on again. Like I say, CJ's not here with us. He's fine. He's just got his own things going on. But we are getting close into the late winter, late fall holiday season. So keep looking your eyes open for extras. We're gonna try a couple things over the next couple of weeks. But don't worry. We still have plans to finish out our drafted schedule. So hopefully sooner or later we'll get Metal Gear out, and then I believe we got Ninja Gaiden coming down the pike. So if nothing else, we're waiting for CJ to come back so we can listen to him cry about how hard these games really are for him.
Stay
But,
tuned.
but we tried to get him in on this one here because this is right up his alley, maybe. But this week, you and I took some time and we jumped into a very old classic called Paperboy for the NES. Paperboy was actually an arcade game released in 1984, and during my research, I found out it was special because in the arcade cabinet it had a set of bike handles as your controller, so you didn't have the joystick and buttons. I guess you just had like a bike stick with thumb buttons that made you throw your paper this way or that way. So just a little something there for you. But again, that came out in 1984. It came out for the NES in 1988. Developed by Atari, of all people. And this version was released by Mindscape. And of course, this falls under an arcade action platformer. And in this arcade style game, your mission is to deliver papers to your customers, the ones listed in the white houses, while avoiding non-customers in the red houses. You cross one street in the middle of the level where there's motorcycles or something else going across, and then you finish the block by entering the training course. Along the way, you'll have to dodge obstacles like dogs, lawnmowers, runaway tires, skateboarders, construction workers, tornadoes, and even death himself. All in hopes to survive the week and land yourself on top of the high score board, to which, when you play it on the NES, you better take a picture because it ain't going to be there when you restart tomorrow. But, Aiden, so I think this is the first time you actually had to play it, so how do you feel? What's your impressions?
I actually didn't mind it. Usually this game isn't up my alley, but funny enough, I found it funny. I don't know why. I was playing and in my video I was like, why is there death following me? I'm delivering papers. I actually found it pretty fun. I think towards the end I finally realized that I'm doing really shitty and I'm actually losing customers, so my chances for getting a high score are slowly going down and down and down.
Yeah.
And I definitely pelted a lot of windows on the way. That was my biggest struggle, just slinging it right through their window. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty fun for what it was.
I remember I started it up, and that music is a nostalgia trip for me, and I don't know why, because I really don't remember playing this much as a kid. I remember seeing it in places and all that, but initial thoughts is, yeah, this is good. This is simple. This is fun. And I think probably by the time you hit about Tuesday, Wednesday, it's like, F this game. Fuck this game up one side, fuck it down the other. And yes, why is there a straight tornado coming up the street chasing me as I'm trying to
That is
deliver papers?
fast as hell. Man, I don't know if I've ever outran the tornado. I mean, it was fucking me up.
One of the last ones I did before we got into this today, I did beat one tornado, and the next day it caught me. So, I mean, I don't know if it's any of our advantages to have it. I don't think there's much really great on graphics. I think you could tell that you're a paperboy riding up and down the street. But what do you think? What did it do for you?
Graphics wise, I feel like it was aesthetically pleasing enough. It wasn't something that blew my socks off, and I mean, it wasn't on the level of Kirby or any of these games, but I mean, it was solid. I could tell what it was. I mean, it was an arcade type high score game. There's not a whole lot to touch on the graphics department.
No, I mean it's really, I don't want to say bland, but it's pretty straightforward. You're going up an isometric view, riding as a boy on your bike, going up the street, and you see a couple houses, and like I say, you can tell the dog, you can tell the tire coming at you. You know what it is. And I would imagine this has to be so much better than what was on the Atari itself. But this thing was on every platform you can imagine, and ones you've probably never heard of. But for this, I think it was serviceable, just because of what it brings to just the simplicity of playing the game and knowing what you're looking at. I myself, like I said, I mentioned the one song I think it's in this, and it repeats on a loop. And maybe that's what it is. Just that loop just constantly keeps going. That's why it's in my head. It's a cheerful little song. Did you have any opinions with it or anything? Or?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a cheerful song. Personally, I never heard it before, so I didn't quite have that nostalgic feeling you did. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it started to get annoying after after playing after a while, just playing on loop. But I mean, it was solid. It wasn't a complaint, or by all means.
Let me ask you about this and then see if it rings in your brain. Like I said, when you hit that part where you have to cross the road after your first block of newspapers, And I don't know if those things were motorcycles or fancy tricycles going across there. But what the hell was that noise those things were making? It sounded like dragons or something going across the
Oh
damn
yeah,
road.
yeah, I did notice. Maybe a little questionable sound design for a few mobs, but I don't, or like a few things, but I don't. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, definitely didn't sound like motorcycles or whatever they were, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I say it's just I would have to guess that's what it was a motorcycle just because of that sound. But I mean, it literally sounded like a dragon was going across.
Yeah.
But well, tell me, as we're talking about this here, what did you like? What did you not like?
Well, I like the mechanic of slowing down and speeding up the bike.
Okay.
I like slowing. I did start to get a little better at it and moving diagonally, which I did not at all use enough. I was mainly like trying to like slow down and stop to dodge shit, but
Mm-hmm.
like really going diagonal is what really stepped it up. Because at first, I mean, this is quite embarrassing, but I did not know that there was a Tuesday. I thought we were just Monday morning. We were just. I mean, I think I found out 15 minutes in that oh wow, I beat the game. Nope, I got Tuesday. So
Okay.
yeah, it was embarrassing. I sucked at first, but once I got down the mechanics and I actually started I on one run, which I mean it didn't really help me out that much, but I started slowing down towards I get to the front doors instead of just full speed, trying to time it, like slowing down when I get to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say that I like the mechanic, and what I don't like. I probably have to say the tornado and just how hard it is to get away. Like if you're kind of fucked if a tornado spawns. I mean, like oh
Yeah,
well, I guess my run's over here.
well, I mean, at least with Death there, just stands there and it's like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm Death.
Yeah,
But that tornado's like, no, I'm fucking coming for you.
yeah,
Better get moving on that bicycle. Um, I agree with you on some of that. Now, I think what I enjoy about it is the simplicity of the game, but where you're saying the speed up, slow down mechanics, it's trying to think what the right way to say this is. If you speed up, the paper that you throw speeds up. Which I'd found out running from the tornado once was, I was like, oh shit, I'm trying to get away from this. So I got to throw it. And normally where I would throw the newspaper, it would at least hit the front door. And this thing flew like halfway up the house and popped through a window. Um, so it definitely affected how you played, I think, when you sped up or slow down. But on the same token, I can see where you can find the benefit in that. I don't know. I just know if I lean to the left a little bit, lean into my throw, I see my accuracy was better. And I think honestly, if your paper didn't hit while it was in the screen, like for those who haven't played it, when you throw your paper, you want to aim for the mailbox. I think you get the highest points out of getting it in the mailbox. But if you at least hit the front door and land on the stoop, you get it as well. But if you're moving at a good pace and you do that, and the contact of the paper hitting the door happens out of frame, it doesn't register because it doesn't make a noise that you successfully did it, even though it's like 9 times out of 10, if I hit it right there, it would have worked. So that was a little aggravating. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to think what I did like about it. It's the little things in this that I guess that bothered me. But all in all, for an arcade game, it ain't too bad on it. Did you happen to make it to make it through? I guess the test track or whatever it was at the end.
yeah. I think I made it to. I think maybe Thursday is what I made it
Okay.
to. So I at least completely finish the track at the end a couple times. I know that.
Okay. Okay. I now props to you because I do recall from my childhood that's what I wanted to get was to that track because that was funner than just delivering papers. But I
Yeah.
sucked at it so bad. Like me getting through the first jump just never happened as a kid. And then years later, so as I got older, I got better at it, and of course did that. But you were able to master that within a little bit of game time that you played this week. So way to go, dude! You are the master gamer.
The MJ of Paperboy.
There you go. Now I'm just gonna throw this out here just to kind of bring it up. I know you probably didn't. I had to know. I know there's a Paperboy 2 that they made, which is a follow-up sequel, which I think came out in 1990. I didn't do much research into it. I just wanted to play it and see if it got better. And honestly, I don't think it did. Small things that are better. On this one here, you ride up the street, all the houses are on the left. Well, in Paperboy 2, you can actually be a boy or a girl, and you can pick what level you want to start on, which is intriguing. But it's not 3D, but you start out on the very first level, and the houses are on your right. And then you cross the street, this time, dodging cars that strangely just want to hunt you down. You go through a centerpiece where the first level you end up being able to stop a guy robbing a store. You could hit him with a paper, knock him down, and become the hero, which they will list in the newspaper the next day. Paperboy stops robbery. But once you cross the street, then all the houses are now on the left. But graphically and control wise, it's I think one of your first cash-in games. Like they didn't put any effort into it. It's like, oh, we know you liked it. Everybody bought the other one. Let's do this, and we'll add some stuff into it. But they forgot why they sold so many, and I think that's just terrible.
It can be a good thing or a bad thing. There are instances in gaming history in general where you have these game mechanics that your clientele really like, and then you like switch it up or try to do something new, and they really don't like them. But I feel like there definitely has to be, with each game, if you're making a 2 of the same game, there has to be some improvement in the mechanics. Like even like I were talking about earlier, Call of Duty, you don't quite notice it maybe, but
Mhm.
when we're playing the new Call of Duties, you don't notice that like the movement feels good until you go back and play the first Call of Duty that was made in 2005, and you're like, oh, this feels super clunky. Like you don't quite notice it, but like each game there is some small improvement to the actual mechanics, and I feel like that's almost needed to improve the experience.
Well, and I don't disagree, and but I think with this one, like I say, the Paperboy 2 that came in, the only thing they probably really needed to add was some polish. Like I say, the ability to choose if you wanted to be a boy or a girl. Cool, down with that. Um, the levels, like the first one, in Paperboy 1, the one you play, I think every day of the week is the same, and it's just basically a straight street that goes from bottom to top with one intersection across. This one here had like a diamond shaped, and I don't know if you could actually go to the other side of it or what, but there was more angles, so you've added a whole other dimension to the game itself. And then just tighten up the controls would have been fine. But they just seemed like everything got really sloppy. There's ramps and jumps you can hit, but they feel trivial in your ability to hit them. So I wasn't impressed with it. But we're not talking about Paperboy 2. We're talking about Paperboy 1. So let's crush this out. Let's see what we think here. Let's go ahead and let you give what you think here. Close this out. Tell us what you thought. Would you recommend it? All that.
Close it out. I think I feel like I say this a lot in our reviews here, but it really depends what you're looking for. If you're going into it, obviously this in-depth game, no, you're gonna find an arcade. You're gonna find an arcade game, just trying to get the high score. If you're interested in that, like arcadey type games, like almost mobile games, it's almost like a mobile game.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that, trying to burn some time, sure, check it out. But personally, I don't know if I'll come back to it unless we have some competition, someone challenges me, then I might have to, then that will force my hand. And I'll have to come back to it and show them who's boss. But I don't think I could recommend it 100%. But I did enjoy the game for what it's worth. I didn't expect it to be some gaming masterpiece, but I feel like it was fun for what it was.
I'm kind of with you. I mean, I think this is one of those games that I don't want to say holds a place in the annals of video gaming, but it has at least a honorable mention kind of history to it. Like I say, very popular arcade game, transitioned very well over to, ported it very well over to mini consoles and different things. So I think that itself shows how good it was for the time. Um, but I'm with you. I can only recommend it just to say try it, see what you think. Because honestly, you probably aren't gonna come back and play it ever again unless someone said at least look at it. It's moments maybe if I just, I'm on a rainy day and I'm going through the collection trying to figure out what we're gonna play, what I'm gonna do. It's like, I'll give this a couple minutes. And I think, like I said, now that we've hit it here, um, yeah, unless we decide to do some more in tournament, and since we've listed Paperboy as something we've played, TJ's got to learn to play it so he can beat his ass at it. But yeah, it's that's probably gonna be a hard no for me. I can't recommend it to you. Will I play it again? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not.
I can definitely see the appeal if it's like back in the day, showing up to school, telling your friends, "This is what I got on Paperboy. What did you get?" Or something like that, or I beat the training level or what obstacle course or whatever it was at the end. I can see the
Mhm.
appeal in that sense. I mean, it's kind of like Flappy Bird. Like I don't know if you guys remember that stupid game with the bird in between the Mario pipes, but like you go
Oh
to
yeah.
school and like, oh, this is what I got, man. What did you get? I bet you can't get that. I can see the appeal in that way, but I mean, if you're looking for any type of story, super impressive mechanics, I feel like you're not really gonna find it here.
No, 110%. But I think you definitely brought it back to the basics. It's an arcade game, and in the arcade, at least, when you went and seen it, one, it wasn't the first game you played probably, but it was like, oh man, I'll go play some Paperboy. And then when the high scores roll by, you would see my initials up there and be like, oh, I got this. Yeah, that's me. That's the one I'm on. That's where I did that shit. And you may have had a run where you just, went through a week, 2 weeks, however long it let you go, and just straight rocked it. But it's not something I think we collectively as gamers really look for anymore. At least not on. I don't know. We probably could if we had a good leaderboard, but this game I don't think it'd hold enough people that long to make you want to be the high score guy. If you luck out, cool. Do I want to be it? I don't give a shit.
True.
So, um, well, I know. Like I said, we threw this in here as something just to check out. Do you want to give it a? You want to give it a number? I mean, it's
I'll
not
give it a number. Just a little extra. I
okay.
mean, we don't have to add it to our final list or nothing. Uh, I think I gotta stick it right at the 5, even 5 for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let me change it to a 4 because I feel like
Okay.
five is something. I think I would give 5 a game that I called decent. I think I gave it DuckTales a 6.2, 6.7 or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, somewhere
But I
where
don't
you
know.
insulted my family. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
somewhere I insulted your family, but I feel like 5 is a little high for the game it is, and I don't like my grading system. I don't like grading it on a scale. Like if I'm grading something, I don't care what type of game it is. I'm grading it all on the same scale, so I have to give it a 4.
Okay. Well, I say again, I've known you long enough to know that's not like you're straight trying to wipe your ass with it, but if that was the only thing that was on the counter, I guess this one's gonna have to go. Um, I've thought about this strangely more than I should have over the last couple days because I know I want to sell the nostalgia of it, but there's just not enough nostalgia there to sell it. So I'm with you. I mean, 4 is exactly what I came up with, and it's just it existed. If you have it in front of you, if you see it in the arcade, I would highly recommend it. Just with the opportunity to use the bicycle handle mechanic, but I really don't think you'll ever see that anywhere again. Um, but on the NES, nah, you'd be better off to play it on your phone, and even then, you're gonna delete it in a week anyways. So. But I guess that brings us to a point where we don't have anything else to say about it other than we did like this game. At least we didn't hate it, but we just didn't like it. Um, it's weird to finally hit a point where we can say, try it out or something because it's like, yeah, we don't want you to.
Yeah.
Um, Aiden, you got anything else you want to say before we wrap this up this week?
Oh, I just want to say, keep an eye out. Holidays are coming up. Might be some extras. Might be some in-person stuff. Who knows? Just stay tuned. We got some cool things coming.
Intriguing. I like it. I like it. Well, let's do all the business stuff. Please like, share, follow us on your favorite podcaster. Find us at VGR Podcast on YouTube. We do have some videos up there. Watch them, share them, comment on them, help us grow a little bit. We are available on the socials. And also, we would love to hear from you guys. That's at vgrpod@gmail.com. Drop us in some lines. Give us something to work with. You might even convince us to play a game if you wanted us to look at something. I mean, I know Aiden's down for most things. I mean, I'll just tell you no if I don't want to, but at least I'll have a reason to back it up. And if it's something CJ's going to just hate, then very likely we'll go to the top of that list. Just make that happen. But again, I want to thank everybody for listening to the VGR Video Game Replay podcast. I have been Larry.
My name is Aiden.
Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you guys next time.
Peace out.
I can't say it's a shit game, but wasn't a good game.
By the way, you video game reviewed it again. Said review.
Damn it. Damn it.
It's just
I
at
got
the
to write
very
it up
end.
here. I'm going to write it up on the top, man. Damn.